this fight a couple weeks ago, the one that you won. You're going to do your fight, and if everything goes well, these two guys are going to fight each other in 2026. That's the agreement.
Believe me, I think between each other, Boots and Vergil, that's the biggest fight at 155.
I love the fight between him and Vergil. I think that's a top-notch fight right there. That's Sugar Ray Duran right there. You know what I mean? Of this era. So
if Boots signed to fight me, that doesn't mean I'm obligated. Like that's what I mean when I say like I'm not gonna wait for anyone. Like we were both offered the fight already. We said yes, and if both sides wanted it, then it would have happened.
Just like you, that's what makes good fights. Young, hungry fighters.
right.
That's when there's gonna be a fight.
Right.
They fighting for legacy. They fighting for that. They want that big bag. They want to be a champion. They want all that stuff. So that fight right there is probably would be like a fight of the year.
Vergil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis have decided to fight each other in 2026 and have signed a contract to do so. Looking at this fight, Andre Rozier said he would love to see Vergil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis fight. He knew it would be tough, but he wanted to see it happen because Ennis was his nephew. Rozier said that Ennis was very talented and that Vergil was a dangerous fighter, which would make the possible fight exciting and difficult.
Vergil and Jaron get it on. How did that fight play out in your mind?
Oh, listen, I love the fight. I have to definitely side with nephew. Boots is, I think his talent is very, very, very good, and I think it's going to be difficult. But Vergil is a monster. So it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see.
In the same way, Vergil Ortiz's manager Robert Garcia said that the best fight for him would be against Jaron Boots. He also said that a fight between Boots and Vergil would be the biggest in the 154-pound division. No matter who holds the world titles, Garcia really wants the marketing to start soon because he is sure it will be the biggest fight of the year.
I think the fight that makes the more sense is Boots Ennis. Boots just fought. We're gonna fight in 4 weeks. Hopefully Boots comes to Dallas and they start building up the fight because believe me, I think between each other, Boots and Vergil, that's the biggest fight at 154. It doesn't matter if Fundora has the WBC belt. It doesn't matter if the WBA, the WBO, it doesn't matter what the other belts, the other champions are doing. I think Boots and Vergil is the biggest fight I want.
Jaron Ennis, meanwhile, said that his training camp at 154 pounds was a huge improvement and that he felt 10 times better than when he was 147 pounds. He said that he felt much better during the whole camp and had a lot more energy even during fight week. So pumped up did he think he could have sparred right up until the fight. He came to the conclusion that gaining weight was the best thing he could have done at the right time.
Kent was 10 times better.
Really?
You know, I could eat a little more. I felt way stronger throughout the whole camp, even during like fight week. You know how sometimes in fight week when you cutting weight, some fighters they'll understand what I'm saying. Like when you at 147, and I was like coming up and cutting weight and stuff like that. During fight week, you get those times and points where you don't want to do anything, like your last training day or like during fight week, you just don't want to do nothing. You just be on some lazy stuff. You just ready to get it over it. But me moving at the 154 and this training camp that I had a phenomenal training camp. But the last week of training camp, I feel like I had a bunch of energy. I could have sparred all the way up till fight day. Like I just like real like energized and things like that. So I felt great, having a 154 camp, and I'm glad I think I did the right thing at the right time. I feel great, feel tremendous.
Considering how great you
Ennis also said that he heard Terence Crawford say in an interview that he wouldn't fight him before the fight. Crawford doesn't want to go back to 154 pounds, Ennis said, and he should enjoy his recent win over Canelo. He agreed that Crawford is now the face of boxing after beating Canelo, and that he has won the right to fight whoever he wants next.
That's why he did like an interview. Somebody asked him a question about him fighting me, and I heard him say he's not gonna fight me.
Why?
Yeah, I guess he said he's not coming back down to 154. So let that man enjoy his victory. He just beat Canelo. The face of boxing. So which that makes Canelo. I mean, that makes Crawford the face of boxing at the moment, and he earned the right to fight whoever he want to fight. And
Ariel Helwani said that Eddie Hernan, Oscar de la Hoya had talked about putting Jaron Ennis and Vergil Ortiz in a fight in the future. They agreed that if both fighters won their current fights, they would meet in 2026. Helwani said that Ennis had already agreed to it. The plan was to be looked at again after the fight, as Ortiz's team wanted. He confirmed this, saying he had heard the same thing and agreed it made sense for Ortiz.
About this meeting with DAZN and everyone, where they talked about you versus Vergil, and essentially what was said, and I want to get your take on it now, that hey, we're gonna do this fight a couple weeks ago, the one that you won. You're gonna do your fight, and if everything goes well, these two guys are gonna fight each other in 2026. That's the agreement. What Eddie said was they went back to you, you signed. You said you were in.
I signed like that.
In. No problems, no questions, nothing.
Nope.
They went back to Vergil. This is what he said. And they were like, we're going to do our fight and then we're going to revisit this. Is that what you're hearing as well?
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. You know, that's understandable though. You know, you gotta stay on task of what's in front of you, you know, and not overlooking nobody.
But you agreed before your fight.
Yeah, I did, but I still was locked in on Lima. You know, even when people was asking me about the Ortiz situation, I wouldn't even say nothing about it. I'll be like, October 11th, we focusing on Lima, and that's it. You know, that's our main focus right now.
On the other side, Vergil Ortiz said that he and Jaron Ennis were offered a fight, but Ennis's team turned it down at first. Ortiz said that his boss told him that Ennis's team wanted to warm up fights first before setting up to fight. He thinks it's unfair, especially since his own two-fight weight at 154 was because of a serious illness that needed hospitalization. Not an easy choice. Ortiz now thought that Ennis's team might have changed their minds, which would allow the fight to happen after only one fight.
It's not even that it's not known. It's already known. Is that we were both offered a fight already. He said no. And from my manager, he told us, because the manager's the one talking to you. Yeah. He was manager to other, whatever. But he said that he needed 2 tune-up fights for the fight. Whether 2 or 1 is true or not, or they changed their mind, because it's looking like they've changed their mind already if they're going 1 and then supposedly to meet next. But that's what it was at the time, and they said they needed 2 tune-ups, and now, I don't know. You know, and people want to give me shit because I took 2 tune-ups when I moved up to 154. But the difference is, I had a life-threatening illness and I couldn't make 147. I was hospitalized, and we had to make sure that I was good and healthy to keep on fighting, to even continue my.
Now let's talk about Gabe Rosado. He was excited about the idea of a fight between Vergil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis, calling it one of the best matchups of this generation. He agreed with Boots that he should replace Terence Crawford and praised his speed, power, and ability to switch hits. Rosado also said that Boots uses smart pressure, going easy on his opponents and grabbing them right away in the fight.
I love the fight between him and Vergil. I think that's a top-notch fight right there. That's Sugar Ray Duran right there. You know what I mean? Of this era. So I love that fight.
Eddie Hernan was telling me that he feels that Boots is the natural successor to Terence Crawford. Are you as high on Boots in that comparison, or what do you make?
I think Boots, you know, he got the speed, he got the power. He has the ability to switch orthodox and southpaw. So he has a lot of tools in his arsenal, man. So, you know what I mean? I think his I guess what would be his biggest flaw, but at the same time is his greatest asset, is that he could box you and it'd be a boring match, but that's not him. He like to walk you down, so he can give an opponent an opportunity to catch.
Danny Garcia, on the other hand, thought that Jaron Ennis could become the best fighter in the world, especially after a big win. He thought that a fight with Vergil Ortiz would be the best way to get that title because it would be a great battle between 2 young, hungry fighters. Garcia leaned toward Boots as a winner when asked to make a prediction. He said that Ortiz's habit to stay still will work to Ennis's advantage.
How far can Boots go? Can he be pound for pound one of the top fighters in the world, 1, 2, or 3 at some point?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's already around there. Like, you know, he's looking to crack that top 10.
Right.
You know, with the right win, I think he'll get in there.
Right. How do you feel about him going up to 154 and maybe people want to see him and Vergil Ortiz?
I think that's the fight. I mean, you win that fight, you definitely in the top 10 to me.
Right.
You know,
oh, for sure.
That's a young champion, a young killer just like you. That's what makes good fights. Young, hungry fighters.
Right.
That's when you know there's going to be a fight, you know?
Right.
They fighting for legacy. They fighting for that. They want that big bag. They want to be a champion. They want all that stuff. So that fight right there is probably would be like a fight of the year type fight.
Who wins?
I think Boots beats him just because Vergil he can fight, but I think he's going to be in front of him. He's going to be in front of Boots, and that's his style. His tailor.
Gomez from Golden Boy Promotions says that they have offered Jaron Boots Ennis a fight with Vergil Ortiz twice this year. This way, he said, and had turned him down, giving reasons like wanting a practice fight or having to see how his body works at 154 pounds first. Gomez was angry that many of the best fighters say they want to fight Ortiz, but don't take up the offer when it's made.
You know, a lot of guys don't want to fight Vergil. One guy that I forgot to mention is Boots Ennis. We were offered to fight twice this year, but for whatever reason, Boots said, you know, I want to do a tune-up fight first, or I want to do a fight first at 54 to see how my body feels. Then I'll consider fighting Vergil. So we've been dealing with a lot of that. A lot of the top guys, they say they want to fight Vergil, but when it comes down to it, they don't step up to.
On this possible meeting, I don't agree with Eddie Hearn at all when he says that Vergil Ortiz's style is perfect for Boots Ennis, as seen in his return against Magomedov. He said Ortiz is an animal who makes people fight his fight. Oladipo thought that Ortiz was a huge problem for anyone now that his health problems were over and he was a full-grown 154-pound fighter. He came to the conclusion that it was a great 50-50th fight and didn't agree with the idea that Boots was having an easy night in terms of style.
Vergil Ortiz's style is tailor-made for Boots Ennis, says Eddie Hearn. I disagree. I mean, Vergil Ortiz can mix it up. Vergil Ortiz will make you work for it. Anyone beating Vergil Ortiz knows that they're going to have to go to the f***ing well. Pardon my French. He will make you work. This guy is an animal. I saw it against Majimov. Majimov was having his way and he was dancing and he was jumping around and he was doing all that. And then all of a sudden Vergil was like, we ain't doing that no more. Got him into the corner and was working. And all of a sudden Majimov starts fighting Vergil's fight. Vergil's a big problem. He's now grown into the 154-pound division as well. So he's got all those problems that he had with the illnesses of trying to make 147s done. There's no way his style's tailor-made. It's a great fight. It's a 50-50 fight. But I'm not having these styles tailor-made.
Bradley, on the other hand, was bold and sure. He said that Vergil Ortiz has no chance of beating Jaron Boots, and he put his money on Boots, telling Ortiz to first beat Sebastian Lubin. Bradley said that the next fight with Boots would definitely be a demonstration of skill versus skill, and he was sure that Ortiz would not be able to handle Boots' ability.
Promise you, Vergil Ortiz ain't beating no Boots. When y'all gonna listen, y'all ain't got to listen. Y'all ain't got to listen. Oh, I'ma put my money where my mouth is. Ooh, I'ma put my money where my mouth is. Oh yeah, go ahead, Vergil, get past Lubin. Get past Lubin. Make sure you take care of business. Yeah, the next fight is gonna be against Boots Ennis. And you ain't man, listen to me, people. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. Skill versus...
Vergil Ortiz also made it clear that he is not required to agree to fight Jaron Boots Ennis, even though the two have agreed to fight. He said that when the fight was first offered to both of them, his side said yes, but it never happened, which suggests that Ennis's side said no at first. Ortiz said he won't wait for anyone and is moving forward with his career, which suggests that the new deal doesn't automatically mean the fight will happen.
If Boots signed to fight me, that doesn't mean I'm obligated. Like, I still, that's what I mean when I say, like, I'm not gonna wait for anyone. Like, we were both offered the fight already. We said yes, and if both sides wanted it, then it would have happened already. So it's kind of the same thing with Xander. Like, we did say yes, and I mean, the fight's not happening, regardless of who said no or not. The people that said yes was my side. So now that he signed with Eddie to say that we're gonna fight, like, that has nothing to do with me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense.
When Boots Ennis signed with Matchroom, Eddie Hearn made it clear that a deal for him to fight Vergil Ortiz was fully agreed upon and even written into the contract. Golden Boy Promotions went quiet for a while before revealing that Ortiz would fight Sebastian Lubin instead. Hearn said that his team signed the deal. Golden Boy told him they still want the fight after that, and he believes them. but Hearn made it clear that the fight is over for him, and he thought it was one of the best fights in boxing history.
Just to make it clear on Vergil Ortiz, we sat in a room, me, Oscar de la Hoya, Eric Gomez, and the top DAZN execs in America. We talked about how a deal would work with those two fighters, and we agreed on a deal. We went away, we signed a new deal with Boots. Part of that deal within the contract was the deal that we agreed with Golden Boy and DAZN to fight Vergil Ortiz. Boots signed it. Now, we didn't hear anything back. We told them we're going to fight in October. They said they're going to fight in November, and we haven't heard anything back. On Tuesday, Eric Gomez called me and he said, look, I just wanted to let you know we're fighting Lubin. After that, we want to get the Boots.
Oscar de la Hoya, on the other hand, said that Jaron Ennis does not want to fight Vergil Ortiz. He said that Team Ennis changed its mind and quit the talks after the first calls. De la Hoya said he will believe the fight is real once he sees Boots' signed contract. Finally, he made it clear that Vergil Ortiz is always the best fighter in the 154-pound division, no matter what.
We all know Boots doesn't want to fight Vergil. I mean, that's what happened, right? We called him out, we had a fight, and, then they backtracked. So until I see something on paper that Boots wants to fight Vergil, then I'll believe it.
Why do you think he doesn't want to fight him?
Because we had everybody was calling each other out, and then all of a sudden they pulled off.
Ennis, Boots' father and trainer, also said that he told his son not to mess around and to make a statement in his last fight, which he did. He revealed that they had already agreed to fight each other, but they have to beat their next opponent first. Bozy also said that Boots is a much better and stronger boxer now that he is 154 pounds, after having a hard time for 10 years at 147 pounds.
I told him not to go out there and play around. Go out there and make a statement. He made the statement.
He did. Now got some pressure on everybody fan's mind is going to be what
we wait. You heard what he said in the ring?
Call out everybody.
All right, there you go.
Ideally,
we don't care. We want whoever got them belt.
Vergil just the fight is done from that field.
Vergil got to get past Lubin. That's what he got to get past Lubin.
But there was an agreement already made, supposedly.
Hey, if he don't get past Lubin, what about who we gonna fight him for?
Okay, is Vergil's style tailor-made for Boots?
All the styles are tailor-made for Boots. But like I said, y'all didn't see nothing yet, man. You know what I mean? I told you don't go out there and play. Make a mistake, like I told you.
Much better at 154, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he had 147 for what? 10 years, man. Now 10 years. It was about time.
When asked about a possible fight with Terence Crawford, Jaron Ennis said he was sick of being asked about it. He said Crawford had told him many times that he didn't want to fight him and wasn't even thinking about it. He also said that he was done talking about the fight even though he still wants it to happen. It will happen if it does. He will move on if not. Following his victory over Wisma Limut, Teddy Atlas said that Jaron Ennis was the real deal in boxing. He told Boots how great his skills are and how he can fight well both inside and outside because he has strength, hand speed, and good technical foundations. Atlas also talked about his strong mental toughness, long history as an amateur boxer, and the great work of his father and trainer, Vergil Ennis, which made it clear that he was the whole deal.
What about the Terence Crawford fight? I'm tired of answering questions about it. He already said millions of times that he not fighting me or looking my way, so I'm just tired of answering them questions, and if a fight happened, it happened. I wanted it to happen, but if not, yeah.
In his own words, Jaron Ennis made it clear that he wants to be known as one of the best boxers of all time, a world champion who has never lost in more than one level. He wants to leave a lasting impression by beating the best boxers in every weight class he fights. Ennis also said that he wants to be remembered as one of the most exciting fights of all time and become a Hall of Famer one day.
Ennis is he's the real package. He's the full package. I've been saying this for a long time. It's no secret, and a lot of people see it, and they had their ups and downs about how they feel about him. But he's the full package. He can fight inside, outside. He can punch. He's got good hand speed. He's technically solid. His father does a good job. He's mentally right. He's got the amateur pedigree. He's the full.
The way is now clear. Jaron Ennis, and Vergil Ortiz have all agreed to fight each other in a huge match in 2026. Both, though, have to take care of their dangerous business first. Ennis has to fight Pitbull Cruz, and Ortiz has to fight Sebastian Lubin. They will be ready for one of the most awaited fights in boxing once they pass these tests. Who do you think will win the 2026 mega fight? Share your thoughts below.